My dear people, welcome to, I want to say, my second encounter of season 24. If not second, then definitely third. And why do I point this out? Well, if I do say, things are going interestingly, to say the least, but don't worry about all that. You'll know what I mean by the end of this here video. So, my dear people, I want you to do something for me. Throughout the course of this video, I want you to count. Count what, you might ask? I'm not going to tell you what. This is me trying to see how well you can critically think. Don't count. My bad, not don't count. Just count. Count anything in a video and see if you are thinking along the same lines as me. Just count. I'm not going to tell you what to count, but just count. We're on Anakin, and it's daytime, and of course, like a sane-minded person, I have an M82, aka a sniper rifle. Now, if I were to be a madman, I would take an MP5. I would take an M46. I would take a 629. I would take a Saiga 12K. You know, things that don't belong. It's kind of like when you pull up to a JDM car meet and you see a Mazda RX-7, and then all of a sudden you hear a LS1, and you're like, what the fuck? And if you're a car guy, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you don't know, then you don't know. What I'm hearing right now is what appears to sound like an L96 and an L85 going off and a full auto Beagle going off. Damn. It almost sounds like there's multiple people in that direction. That's what it almost sounds like. But you know what? I'm gonna let them fight. You know what I'm saying? Expend their resources. I'm gonna be back here doing jet things. And what are jet things in particular? I can't describe them to you, but you're damn sure watching them. So I'm over here on the edge of the map. You know what I'm saying? Just cooling, minding my business. Nothing happening at all. Everything's fine. Everything's chill. That is until the very first part of this here story kicks in. I get ported. From why? Damn, from why? That shit crazy. From where and why? Those questions both don't have answers. So you see I'm looking behind me, and I'm like, well, they wouldn't be behind me, because if they were, I'd be getting shot at by now. I'm confused. But it could be just because the guys who are fighting, one guy came out on top, and he's porting to see who's left. But then I see someone hit a comm station. They're either here or up here. Because why else would you move an airdrop when it's perfectly fine where it's at? And this is me thinking I hear somebody when I actually don't. So yeah, that changes things a little bit. As I hit the one at the back of the map, unless that one's off cooldown by now. I don't know. But that's when I stumble across the missile. You know? Now, I don't particularly go for loot events like that because, you know, I kind of let the other people do it, and I watch them do it, and I watch them walk away, and I watch them fall. Okay, did it tell to get said again? Think I need to move. Alright, so I'm gonna move. And do exactly that. You know? Like I said, I don't intend to hit the missile, but if no one's over here, I'm gonna do it. Wait. Good thing I didn't do it. That's a whole mortar strike. And if I can hear it on this map, that means I can see it. All I gotta do is get to a high enough position. So I'm doing that. And then, as I'm running to get a higher position, I get ported again for the second time. And you see my camera shake, because it's like, man, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So now I gotta think. I get ported for the second time. This guy knows my direction as well as my location. That is a problem. What's an even bigger problem is this right here. People, what I'm about to tell you may sound a bit crazy. It may. But streams as well as videos on my channel will prove this here theory. Sometimes you're meant to miss. Sometimes you're not meant to hit the guy that you're shooting at because there's another person who poses a more grave danger to you. You just don't know they're there. But because you missed the shot, all of a sudden, through some unknown random event, you now know there's another person there and they pose a greater threat to you than the guy you were trying to hit. Sometimes, like I said, you are meant to miss shots. Now, the thing is, I was kind of confused because dude was behind me. The guy that I just killed, who was behind me, right? He heard me shoot with an M82, but didn't think to push up and find the source of the M82. Instead, he went to go and hit the missile. That's a very dubious decision, if I do say so myself. I should be dead right now, in all honesty. I really should be. But guy chose game over kill, and, well, you see what happened. Now, that's not me telling you every time go for a kill. No, that's not what I'm telling you. What I'm telling you is, in that particular instance, if you would have just kept walking instead of going for the missile, I would be dead right now. And I want to say that's probably the guy who ported me twice. I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like 95% sure that I'm wrong in that case. But
airdrop incoming. Get ready.
It is what it is. Now, the match is halfway over. Yeah, I know, crazy. The game flies by when you're actually having fun. Jet, what do you mean having fun? You just ran and found a guy, and that's it. Yeah, fun. The fun is trying to figure out where your nearest danger, or where the nearest danger to you is. And sometimes a danger is not even a person, it's a position. Yeah, I said it. Sometimes a danger to you is not a person, but a position. You just better hope you don't walk toward said position. And this is me trying to figure out how accurate is L86. Answer, not very. Not very at all. Now, I have noticed something throughout this here encounter. Remember at the start of the video when I told you to count something? Alright, now, I'm going to ask you, what did you count? You don't have to put your answer in the comment section, but if you do, you're a real one, you're a real G. What did you count in this here video? Did you count the amount of steps I took? Did you count the amount of times at a comm station? Did you hit down, not hit? Did you count the amount of times I got ported? The last one, if you were counting that, good. You're on the right track in terms of thinking through this here game. People, what I was counting, embrace yourself. What I was counting was the amount of times the detector got hit. So what do I decide to do? Put down a freaking jammer. That's right, folks. The same thing that I tell you all not to use in almost every damn video, I'm gonna use it. So why do I decide to use a jammer in this particular instance? Well, if you were counting the amount of times the detector was hit, 4 times. 4 times. Now let's underestimate this. Let's say 2 people hit the detector twice each. 4 times. Okay? Now, let's think about it. If 2 people are hitting the detector, wouldn't they run into each other? So one person hits it 1 time, then gets killed, and the other person hits it 3 times. Okay, yeah, that's fair. But what if it's one person hitting the detector 4 times? What if? Right? What if? I'm placing a wager right now, people. I'm placing a wager. What I think is going to happen is somebody is going to hit the detector for a fifth damn time. And that's when I'm not sitting here and saying the jammer is the worst possible consumable you can ever use in this game. No, that honor goes to fireworks, if not a decoy. That's what I deem to be the worst consumables in the game. But I ain't gonna lie. The one time out of 100 where I need a jammer, this shit kicked in and it came in so clutch. Notice how I was in the container? And then 5 seconds later, I hit my jammed area again. And then 2 seconds later, I hit somebody, one of these two guys, hit the damn detector. If I was outside that radius when that shit hit, I guarantee you these two guys would not be fighting. Because the guy who hit the detector would not have found the other guy. He would have found me in the center island. That's what would happen. So, notice how the dude who hit the detector walked straight to my left, aka his right. Why? Because he saw a guy over there. He saw a dot over there on his map. So he went to investigate. But unfortunately he fucked around and found out what he was looking for. So yeah. To the victor goes the spoils. Yes, true. And in that instance, what I wanted to happen, and this might follow my train of thought here, what I wanted to happen was a guy who hit the detector and rode to his right, aka my left, and found the guy he was shooting and killing. I wanted the guy who hit the detector to win. Why is that? Well, he sees everyone left on the map, except me. And that one other person. So once he kills that one other person, he's going to think to himself, okay, cool, I'm alone. I'm going to drop my guard. No one else is here. Except me in my jammed area looking dead at him and saying, yes, drop your guard. That's what I want you to do. You know what I'm saying? I want to say, and I might be wrong in this, but I want to say the guy who won that gunfight just now was the same person who hit the detector 5 different damn times in the span of one match. People, do not be predictable. Don't. Patterns can be repeated. Patterns can be countered. Why do you think there's odd numbers versus even numbers? They undo one another. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Until then, peace.